Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It is 4 o'clock and it's just fine to start the class, I believe. You should be seeing a poll on top on your screen. Would you go ahead and take the poll? That way I know, if I have to address something at whatever point of time I can. And the question, you can put that, the question that you have, you can put that on the chat via private or public, that's up to you. So whatever means you want me to know the question, go ahead and enter that question for me, please, in the chat so I can address it as we go. Okay. Looks like we have 4 people that has something to ask. Would you put those questions in the chat via private or public messaging, whichever you choose to, and I'll try to keep it private if you had it written as private. Okay. The poll also talks about any suggestions. You will be getting this poll every day as you enter the class. That way, I know to address your questions and clarify if there is something, that there's something or any suggestions that you want to give me. Okay, so I have five questions, and it's a multiple choice poll, so you can choose several of those. So, yes, Daryl, I got your question, and it is for everybody, and I will address it once I get the once I close the poll. Stop the polling. So I'm going to have 3 questions that I need to answer now. And then there is 2 clarifications that I need to address. And then there's 1 thing that I need to address during the class, okay? So would you go ahead and please put the questions on the chat, either public or in a private messaging. That way I can get those addressed before we start the class. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. So I can share the poll. It's nothing private. So like you see, there are 3 questions I need to address now, and two questions for something, and then there's 1 other question. So would you either unmute and tell me the question, or you can type the question in the chat. So the first question I have here, I'm going to address that. That is for our term project, if we find something that we have like to change from the initial proposal, is that okay to do? Well, yes, it is okay to change your term project now, but remember, like this week onwards, you should be you will start working on your requirements, and you'll be setting up priorities for your requirements. So so you'll have 2 things to do. Then you have to still submit your video that you like you did earlier, and then again do the requirements. So there's going to be 2 things to be done. Okay. I don't have any more questions that I should answer. Anybody wants to unmute? Okay, so there is a question saying, I see Visual Studio but I don't see Unity 3D on D119, a remote access. Just it might not be there in 119, but I will ask them if it's there or not. Um, but but you can download Unity 3D. You can download Visual Studio as well. You will be having access to both, and you can download Unity 3D, which is free. Okay. So okay, hang on. So let me go one after the other here. So I have a question in this project. Is this project throughout the whole semester, or does it go with swing 2, or does it go with swing 2? Okay, so I don't know which project you're talking about, but I'm going to do another poll for finding out who is going to do the microbiology project and who is going to do a different project. So if you're doing the microbiology project, it is going to be for engineering 1, engineering software 1, and engineering software 2. So it's going to be through the whole semester, that is for both the 8 weeks for that project, okay? If that helps with it. So there's another question saying on the syllabus for reading for each week, it says chapter 1 in each week, but it has a page specific section in the reading for each week. So did I put a wrong page on it? Would you unmute and tell me? I can open up the syllabus and check.
I don't know. It might just be that I couldn't find it, but I couldn't find like page specific, like which pages to read.
Oh, which section? Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'll go over that and see, and maybe make another column where I can put in the page.
It might just be that I didn't find it, but I don't think I found it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, I will go ahead and put a page, or put a section maybe. That should be good enough for that time. Yeah. Okay. So I'll do that, and I'll add a column to it. Maybe that might help in understanding exactly what page. Okay. More than a page, it is the examples that we will be doing over in the class, because the chapter is not as big. I'm looking at, as I talk, I'm just seeing how many pages is it. It's just 29 pages. You probably can read it in one day. Yeah, so, or maybe 2 days. It doesn't take that long, but I will clarify that, okay? We'll do that, okay? But so there is the next question is, I just joined a group project by accident. Does anyone know how I can leave the group? Well, no one knows it. I know it. I can remove you from the group, or I can have your, some people, so I can have your TA do it. So at any point of time, something like this happens, go ahead and please email me and your TA. So whoever gets it can really address that and get that done. Okay. Okay, sure. Okay, so I'm going to have this poll quickly up here, and this is about the project selection. So it is asking you, will you be working on the microbiology project, or yes, no, undecided. I need that answer as quickly as I can, because that way we can put them in one group. And remember, the microbiology project is for the whole semester, okay? And the other projects, it depends on what you propose. We're going to go over, I'm going to go over that and give you a thumbs up for it. And that will be done pretty quickly, like, it was due today at 4, so I can do it tonight, but maybe tomorrow, or at the most by Friday you should be getting it, if not tomorrow. Okay, that you either expand your project, or you have some, I have some questions for it, and so on. So I have 16 people in the here in the Zoom meeting, and I have just 12 answers. I am waiting for you to answer quickly because we don't want to spend much time on this. So I need one more. Oh, well, I think the other person is me. Is that correct? No. Okay, the other person is, I'd say Monica. So that's fine. Okay, so I have the answer here. I'm going to end the poll. So we have 8, I'm going to share the results. So we have 8 people right now who are in class that are going to work on that project. And all 8 of you will be in one group. Anybody can volunteer to be in that group. And the other 5 that said no, I I will look at that, and when I looked at the files, I think last night I didn't find that many that had different. So I had a couple, I think, but I will look over the 5, and then we have one more person. We had one more person that 2 more people that have not decided yet. So you need to decide, if not this minute, at least by today. So do that, because if you don't decide it, it is going to be difficult for you to start working on it. Okay. So that needs to be done quickly. Okay. So any questions about the project before we move on to the next step?
I mean, about the virtual lab project, I would,
As a whole, anything about the project?
no, the only question I have is like specific to that project.
Okay, what is it? That's fine. Go ahead.
It's just more of like about the biological process and stuff, but I think that would have to be solved, like mostly resolved by talking to the biology department. Or
Right. So did you start watching the videos that are uploaded of the
yeah,
class doing that biology thing?
yeah, I watched the video that showed like the actual like process of how it's done,
Mm-hmm.
more as to like how to determine the phenotypes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So they are going to, did you see the steps involved the professor sent?
I looked at the kind of like the lab manual, I think. One of like it was like a step-by-step process.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
I looked at that.
Yeah, okay. So, so there's going to be more coming from that. What happened is we went, uh, like a week. We are really a week behind. For them, it's 1 week behind. For us, we can, since it's not that much of a lab thing, we can really make up. So they had this, I think the second or the third week is their lab. So which means this is the second week. So the next week will be their labs, and they will be having Zoom sessions.
Okay.
So, they are also going to give us a storyboarding, and we will also try to make a storyboard, and then we'll have meetings with their research assistant and with the professor. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a question here. Is microbiology project be a group or individual? It is going to be in the group. the total group is going to do, and everybody will be assigned, a part of it. And that's what my last recording mentioned, saying that each of them will be doing, will assign something for themselves. And that's how Agile is done. And I want you to get into that culture of how Agile is being implemented, although you might not have the theory behind it or what are the implications and how it's being done, but I will walk you through that. And Agile is core course for those that started in fall, and others can take it as elective, and it's offered in spring right now. So you will have this good idea of how it was being applied, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritties of it. Okay. The next question here is, if we only have 5 or 7 people who are proposing to do different projects, are we just going to split into 2 projects among the different proposals, or how does that work? Okay. Yeah, perhaps. Okay, so I have an answer also for that, saying that perhaps a vote for which project to run has to be done, and that's why I told you about the selling. So we are 22 in this class. Okay, we are 22, and so the second project, if we are dividing the class into 2 projects or 3 projects, let's say we're dividing into 3 maybe. I don't know yet. And so I know the details and the implications and the importance of the microbiology project, and it's totally a real life project, NSF project. So I know how important it is. So I know I know how we're going to we can have more people into it. The other projects that you are proposing and you want to vote for it, it has to have that depth. It has to convince me that yes, if 4 people work on it or 8 people work on it, everybody will have something to do, substantial work to do on it. Okay, that is what should be convincible to me. So that's what I said. I don't know yet, and then it's for you to select which project you want to go into of the 3 that we might have, or the 2 that we have. We can have even 2. I don't know, because there are 2 people that were undecided, and then we have 22 in this class, so we have only 15 people here. I'm not even 15, 14. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Okay.